Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Uh, your voice is very low.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, am I audible?
Uh, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of Department of Information Technology, Sri Shankaracharya Technical Campus, I, Dr. Dolly Shukla, would like to welcome Dr. Ashwin Kothari, sir, Associate Professor, ATC, Department of VNIT, and Associate Dean, IIIT-Nagpur, for the next session of this AI 1 week AICT Atal Faculty Development Program on innovative technical educational practices and academic leadership. Dr. Ashwin Kothari is currently working as Associate Professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering, Department of Vishweshwaraya National Institute of Technology, Nagpur, India. He is also one of the coordinator for the Center of Excellence of Combated Systems, Hybridization of Communications and Embedded Systems established under the World Bank assisted project of TICU 1.2.1, for which till date he has received funding of rupees 9 crore. He is currently also working as in charge dean IIIT Nagpur for 2000, from 2016. He received his PhD in 2010 from VNIT Nagpur. Rough sets, communication, embedded system design, and antennas are his field of interest. Applications of rough set based signal processing is his special interest. He has authored around 35 journal publications and has contributed book chapters for repeated publications and around 50 conference publications in last 5 years. He has 27.5 years of experience in teaching and 1 year of industry, and produced 8 PhD scholars so far and is currently guiding 10 more. He has visited UC Berkeley, UC Riverside, University of St. Joe's, UT Austin, and many universities in the USA and abroad. He has delivered many keynote talks, guest lectures, and conducted technical sessions during FDP's workshop conferences at national and international levels. Membership includes senior member of IEEE, member of IST, IET, and IE. He is an approved NBA program evaluator for EC and AIH branches. He has taken many initiatives for NEP awareness spreading and implementation. Students guiding by him recently have won fourth place and prize of rupees 20 lakhs among 6,500 teams at all over India level for technical innovation and incubation under Swadesi Microprocessor Challenge. He has filed 7 patents so far and has developed 6 product prototypes for commercialization. He is a reviewer and has acted as editor, associate editor for many national and international journals. He has guided many MTech theses under industry collaboration, few to be named as NVIDIA, Intel, Qualcomm, Seagate, National Instruments, MathWorks, Alstom, etc. Currently, he is on board of study of many universities and autonomous institutions, and also member of the board of governing council of IIIT Nagpur and also other reputed universities. Currently, he is giving his lecture on building academic leadership. So, a very warm welcome to you, sir, in this session.
Thank you, Madam Shukla, for your generous introduction. Uh, there is some glitch with my cam, but anyhow, to save the bandwidth, I have kept it off. In the second half, if it is gets switched on, then it's okay. So I will share my presentation. I think we have started late 15 minutes. So as per that, the time would be there. Anyhow, So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Let me
Yes,
present it.
yes.
Yeah. And are the slides changing?
Yes, sir. It is moving.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So good afternoon to you all, and thanks for providing me the opportunity to present few thoughts on this very important topic. And basically, you will find that the current educational scenario, especially in technical education, is very challenging, and there are a paradigm shift in many concepts, and many changes are in offering, and there would be a lot of change the way that the technical education would be conducted and all. And therefore, there are many challenges and opportunities or requirement of teachers with leadership qualities, and therefore it is very evident to have development programs on such topic. At the same time, you will find that the theme which you people have organized has two element, innovative technical education practices also. So basically education, when it comes in technical teaching, what are the innovative practices we can use for enhancing results or having a, perfect result oriented outcome based education or outcome from that. So in my today's talk, basically I will be stressing more on the role evolvement of a teacher as leader as well as a good teacher, and few innovative practices which he or she could follow. So due to paucity of time, I don't know how many important things I would be able to cover, but I will try to justify whatever time is available with me and try to give my best. Now, before I start, I would just take your 2 minutes. This is the photograph of the department, and as in the introduction, it was told, I am coordinator for Center of Excellence of Embedded System also, that is hybridization of communication and embedded, which is set up with a grant till date of 9 crore rupees under TechWeb program. So basically, you will find that it is hybridization of communication and embedded. So all important topics like avionics, or IoT, etc., are covered under that. You will find that there are five main motives or objectives of the Center of Excellence. So one is the academic and industry collaboration. So we have result-oriented MOUs with many universities of national and international levels, and industries also, for academic as well as research collaboration. IP development in terms of various good quality publications and patents, basically, which can be commercially exploited to develop some technology or or going for technology transfer. Then we have a state-of-the-art R&D or prototyping lab facility, in which equipments worth of 7.5 crores are almost available for testing, measurements, and product prototyping in this thematic area. Then incubation and full support for the innovative UGPG projects, not for the students only of our institute, but from the region. So any kind of outcome-based or good outcome-based collaboration is always welcome. And last but not least is the training and skill enhancement workshop, seminars, or certificate courses, which are having heavy element of hands-on for students and faculty and PhD scholars and working professionals, etc. So this point is very important. That's why I'm covering these slides. So at VNIT Department of EC under COE, these are the various subjects or topics in which the projects are being worked out. These are the prototypes and their evolvement. And these prototypes are under the process of commercial viability and developing them into some product, and then doing the technology transfer. And also various areas are there in which these projects have been worked out. Now, the skill enhancement courses are there. They are in the field of wireless communication, embedded system. Then you will find that radio frequency circuit design. Then all the important topics like data analytics, cloud computing, and AI, ML, other important topics of computer science domain also. So who can attend? So basically any student of electronic and allied branch in which even mechanical engineering is also included. So any BSc, BE, MTech student who has completed the second year of engineering can attend this, because it is not theory based course but completely hands on based course, and more stress is towards the skill enhancement. So there are many important software and hardware tools and platforms for product development and prototyping and testing and all. So of which the experience you people must get. So if you are a faculty, suppose if you are a faculty or teaching antenna, and if you do the course related to antenna, there would be lot of value addition to your delivery or academic delivery, or the way you are teaching the course and all. And why to attend? So naturally it enhances your employability quotient, and therefore you can have better career prospect and in-depth knowledge of the subject also. And these are the various domains in which the courses are available at basic and advanced level. And you will find that of every month, when pandemic was not there, now this schedule is little bit affected, but when pandemic was not there, in normal situation, for every 4th and 15th of month the course start, and we even conduct the batch even if single student is there. For outsiders, these courses can be conducted if a group is there in crash course manner also. So the resource persons are from VNIT and industry experts and our lab engineers. We have industry collaborations for conducting these courses, and you will find that the venue is our department itself. We don't provide any placement assistance, but your employability quotient itself gets enhanced, so you can get good chances. So these are the industries in collaborative manner with which we are working. You can see the fee structure is very reasonable. So any course is around say 3,500 with 30 hours modules, and in daily 2 hours. So 15 days course is there, which is completely hands-on, and also you can cover it in 1 week also if you are an outstation candidate. So on demand, the stay facility is also provided, for which extra fee would be charged. These are the glimpse of our labs where ample resources are available. So platforms like cognitive radio, and then to cross to MIMO characterization system, RF embedded, and cloud computing. And then you will find that a number of very high-end costly equipments are available, software defined radio, signal analyzers, and wireless platforms, etc. So the contact credentials are very much there on the website also. You are welcome for any kind of academic collaborations, or the batch wise conduct of courses and all for faculties and students which may be from UGPG or even PhD scholars from your institution. So this is to make all of you aware. So for this I have taken your 5 minutes. Now I will start formally with the talk. You will find that the outline of my talk is divided into two parts. So as we are discussing about, or the theme mainly includes the innovative practices for technical education. So basically what our role as a teacher basically, and essential characteristics we should possess, and how for effective teaching basically should get evolved. For that, what we should do, why we should do, and how we should do, that we would cover. And when we are doing that, basically what are the various challenges which we would face, but with that what are the opportunities also which we will get, that we would be discussing. In part 2, the similar outline is there, but only as or primarily focused on the leadership aspect of a teacher. So role of a teacher as an academic leader basically, and why such programs are needed, under that what we can do, how the leadership development would be done, and then finally the opportunity and challenges related to that. So let's go for the part 1. Now, what happens whenever we are in academics as a teacher? There are in general some myths, or you ask anybody in society, you will find that as far as our technical teaching profession is concerned, there are certain myths which people have. हमेशा कहते हैं कि बहुत अच्छा job है, comfortable job है, like that it is there. So these myths are like a very very comfortable job or profession with too much leisure, lot of time is there, holidays and all. And actually, while delivering the contents or in our official duties, we don't have to do much of it, or nothing has to be done. Only few topics are to be memorized and presented. Then you will find that teachers usually don't have any kind of administrative work or associated work with that, and many holidays, and that's why on a major scale teacher almost gets salary for doing nothing. And you will find that a teaching profession whenever is there, then always people look at it as we are god or demigod, so we can never commit an error, or we can never err, or we are the moral for morality torchbearer of the society, so we cannot do anything wrong. And that's why many eyes are on us, and we have to maintain high standards of ethics and all. So people forget that teacher ultimately is a human being, and to err is human basically. So these myths are quite awestruck. So basically, if these myths are heard, then our face also becomes like this monkey. What's going on? And we know the challenges which we faced, or lot many work pressures which we have usually, especially in this pandemic time. The entire scenario of education got changed and all, and therefore now it is a time for us as teachers to defend ourselves and actually go for the attack. So you will find that uh, as we are technical persons, we should mathematically model the things, and then you will find that what happens is in present situation basically, so the knowledge is the input given to the teacher, and whereas the stakeholders are society, students and industry, which would require lot of output. uh, but you will find that apart from knowledge, no input is there. So this is the practical model which is working presently, and that is how there are flaws, and hence you will find that teachers are getting groomed without any leadership and innovative practices of teaching or academic this thing. So what we should have is nothing but a feedback also from these three elements of society, and therefore this feedback in terms of knowledge again should be fed to the teacher. There has to be a strong industry institute interaction also. So we have usually sales in our institutions, III sale, but they are only on paper or for the sake of compliance, and whether they are actually getting any outcome or any benefits to the teacher or not, that eventually you will know from my talk. So what are the parameters on which this interaction can be judged well, and you yourself can check whether this interaction is really fruitful or not. Now, hence what we see that nowadays actually the teacher role is multifaceted, and we have a lot of administration. So you will see NAC committee, NBA, or local affiliation of the university. Then related to academics also, there is lot of as a faculty advisor, or board of studies meeting conducting, or you will find that lot of documentation is to be maintained, initiatives have to be taken and all. So you will find that there is lot of this thing, administration involved nowadays in our job. Teaching is the default part, which is very much there, uh, which actually we have to do, which includes theory as well as practical. And then you will find that uh, there is research also. This component also has enormously increased. So it is not just doing our own PhD, but then after becoming PhD as a approved supervisor, guiding our research scholars, and then basically going for a research project which is funded by external funding agencies and all. So development of product or bringing some revenue and all. So there is a equally heavy component of research in our today's job scenario. Now, when these three together are amalgamated and a perfect balance is strike, then you will find that we would be a kind of a effective teacher. Now, what happens is, for example, this is a lucid example. So this guy is a very eligible bachelor and about to get married. And if someone asks him that which kind of wife or spouse you want, then naturally he wants that the she should be very smart and very fashionable and trendy, and then she should be caring enough, should take care of the children or taking their studies, homework and all. She should equally be good cook and all, and then she should be very submissive and should take care of elders at home. Like these all qualities together are required, but you will find that in reality what happens is like this. So similarly you will find that when recruitment drive for teachers are there, their list can be very long, and the kind of demanded qualities from teachers can be there, that he should or she should be good at research as well as teaching, as well as revenue generation, as well as administration, as well as academic leadership and all. But practically the situation is not like that, and this is quite natural because we are human being and cannot have all the qualities together. So some teachers would be very good at teaching but they may not be good researcher. Some can be very good researcher but they can be equally bad teachers, and therefore we face a wide gap which is to be bridged actually between the expectations of the expectations because of providing the inputs from those three domains, that is teaching, research and administration. And whereas you will find that our actual personality has some limitations or lacunas, so those are the reality and constraints, or even the availability of the opportunities, or even the place where you are working, the working environment, and whether it has that kind of facility or support or not, that is also equally important. So there is a gap, and therefore this gap is now to be bridged, and there is a big question mark how to bridge this gap. Now you will find that as far as this myths on one part, but reality or regarding our job is there are many positive aspects also. If you see in teaching, you always remain connected to youth, and therefore you will find that you just imagine, like when if a reunion is there and some kind of get together is there of your contemporary people or classmates and all, then you will always find that you are the one who knows the latest fashion trend, or what is popular, or which actress or actor is right now very popular, which kind of songs are very popular, or which kind of technical tool is available for documentation and all, and which coding language. This is all because you are in touch with students. So the latest gadgets and their aspects and specs and all, since youth are the main end users, you will find that you will know lot many things. Means it's not just teacher that we make them to learn, but we also learn many things from them. Then you will find that those who come in teaching profession, there is like a high element of job satisfaction. And then you will find that if you are really a good teacher, then it is but natural that learn, listen and adapt is the attitude which gets developed. So actually a teacher is a lifelong student. The moment you stop learning from new environment, or you don't do any value addition to your learning curve, then you are not a good teacher. Then you will find that in current scenario it is a very demanding or multitasking profession, and that's why we need multifaceted personalities as far as we want to work them as teachers. Less paying, there is an asterisk. It is subject to condition, whether you are working in a private college, state college, central college, under which working condition, whether you are an ad hoc or contractual faculty or permanent and all. And based on that, the economic feasibilities and environments and all. But why I have put star there, that always we ourselves assume to be in a less paying profession, but I will now discuss there are many avenues with which we can even improve economical status also. So if you go to abroad and in Europe and USA, you will find that the professorship is the richest profession. Rather, they have very good collaboration with industry and all, and there you will find that the IP rights are also very good, or people are very much aware about that and alert about that. So people file patent and then they commercially sell those ideas or do technology transfers apart from their salary and all. So most of the industry or companies which you know, like National Instrument, Tektronix, Rohde& Schwarz and all these companies, it's not surprising they have been opened or established by professors. So they were having companies and at the same time they were working as teachers in the various reputed university. Then you will find that there is one point that in general their theoretical knowledge is very fine. So the entire theory is very clear when you are a teacher, but many times it happens that they do less and talk more about it. So how to do the research, a teacher can tell you for 3 hours, but how he himself or herself has actually done it, on what scale and all, again there is a question mark. Then you will find that though the chances of self growth are few or very defined or limited one, but whatever are there, they should not be missed one. That is our most important thing related to us, and that's why we should see those chances of improvement or self growth and all. And then you will find that the role is more challenging in current scenario because students are well updated, informed, they have multiple competitive resources also. Especially this is called as the era of millennial learning, and they are supported with lot of information on internet, gadgets and all. It is easily accessible, and whatever you are talking or teaching, whether it is right or wrong, they can confirm it within very small time and all. This diagram already I have covered, but now that question mark has been covered into a exclamation mark. So if you want to bridge the gap, then you will find that you have to be a very result oriented, multifaceted teacher, and that way you have to groom yourself, in which there is an additional aspect of leadership also required. Now question is then how to groom ourselves into a multifaceted teacher. So then we must know what role a teacher has basically, and now time has come to redefine it basically. So teacher word, whatever letters are there, it itself tells you many things, how multifaceted things are there. So you will find that T stands for toil and teamwork, temperament, time management, and trustworthy. So these are very important aspects, and among that, the red one are the most important one. So now what you can do is a small assignment or exercise is that you can check yourself for your own personality or the level at which you are delivering your professional content. Then for each one of these aspect, you can score yourself on a scale of 5. So from one least score to 5 maximum score, and you should be honest enough to judge yourself on this aspect, and then sum up all the scores which for all the aspects which have been discussed here, and then you find out like how much is your score or percentage and all. So basically toiling means hardworking nature, whether this is there or not. It mainly requires initiative to do the hard work. So whether you have toiling capacity or not, that you check. Sometimes what happens, people are very good hardworking, but they cannot work under a team. That means they cannot get along with others. This is this is the biggest problem when a department, when a person as a head of the department has to head the content and all. Wherever teamwork is poor, you will find that the outcome is not there. So gone are the days of monopoly. Now you people have to work together, and the strength of one person can be the weakness of other, and therefore your role has not to be competitive, but it should be complementary. So you find out the strengths and weaknesses as team member, and complement each other. So one person may be good at writing, another may be good at speaking, so they together can canvas things for department. So one will write the content, another would speak it and present it before people and all. So like that, this was one small example. Then temperament, you should have very cool temperament like Dhoni. So whenever the results are to be given, you should not be fussy about many things and all, and therefore this is equally important. Time management, this is most important. But time management, when I say, it does not mean that you come to the office you are very punctual, so you just come at 9 o'clock and go at 5 o'clock. This is not, this is one very minor aspect of time management. So family time is equally important. So when college is over at 5 o'clock, yes, you should not work beyond that, and you should give equal time and all. So recently you might have read the news also that Amazon has told its employee not to answer the emails which are received after 6 o'clock. So no office work. So equally the time for giving time for family or your own hobbies and all is important, because those are the stress busters and all, and it provides motivation also for doing good further. So if your authorities are not understanding it, they should also understand. So time management does not only mean attending the college in time, out time, like that it is there. Time management is exploiting your complete professional abilities and giving your best and manage it in the available time. So in that case, many times then what people do is they try to work on multiple aspects at the same time and get their back full beyond the capacity by taking initiatives in so many things. And then what happens is, because of taking so many things together, none gets justified and reaches its final goal, and the quality of the outcome is very poor. So this is all poor time management. Then you don't have time to sleep or eat or this thing, or to develop notes for teaching and all, and then everything is this thing. So you should assess time properly, that okay, at what time I have to face my PhD seminar, okay, which topic will come in lecture, this thing, how can I give variations in it. For doing value addition, you have to spend 2 hours while reading some new books and all, and change the way the subjects have been taught so far and all. And trustworthy, yes, this is very important. Your professional loyalty has to be like 100%. So whichever way you are professionally connected with any particular organization, then your professional loyalty should be at high. See, when the institute grows and get lot of advantage, it is there that you ultimately or automatically will get lot of advantage out of it. So you should be trustworthy enough, you should be reliable enough. Then E, so you have to possess lot of energy, you have to be energetic, which in turn is enthusiasm also. You have to be ever learning. So if you say that no, now I have done my MTech, PhD, everything is over and now I don't want to look into it, and still you want to publish paper only on the basis of your students and all, and then if you are a senior, then pushing or pressing your juniors to put your name with your administrative capabilities into your research papers and all, and that way you are doing, this is bad. So you should actively contribute into that. So if some junior out of professional love or connection tells you that, sir, we are putting your name, madam, we are including your name also, you should humbly say that, not just for the sake of including it, but discuss the topic with me. If it is new, then you open it, learn it, and actively try to contribute into that and speak on it, so that your learning curve also gets enhanced and it is a learning experience for you. So always remember, teacher is a lifelong learner. The moment you stop learning new things, it is over. You should have entrepreneur capabilities also. So if you are delivering a project, you must know how many man hours would be required, whether that much effort is worth of the sum which you are getting or not. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it and all. You have to be cutthroat professional in this approach, and therefore the managerial or the project management aspects also are to be imbibed in your personality. You should follow ethics completely. So when you are writing PhD thesis, don't just copy matter from here and there. Get it checked by Turnitin or any plagiarism softwares and all. If this kind of ethics you yourself are following, then the students working under you will also follow. So whether it is an institute rule or not, but you should always ensure that the BTech or MTech or PhD scholars who are working under you submit the thesis has a plagiarism report, and you should see that it is under acceptable value and all, because of references and all. And there is an element of creativity while writing such kind of documents or reports and all. So ethics are also to be followed in your teaching delivery also. So you will find that our job is based on lot of ethics, and where it comes the reliability or professional loyalty. Then you will find that authenticity. So the facts which you are presenting, you should know the authenticity about it, the source of it, and whether you have learned it or read it in the conference paper or journal paper. Now you will find that journal papers are always more authentic than the conference paper. That's why many PhDs I see that you may get very latest papers as conference papers, but most of them are not authentic at all. So if you ask more details about those algorithms or things like that and results and all to the authors, they will never share. So journal publications are more authentic, and that's why whenever students are working under me, I basically insist that you have the reference of journal paper more, and that to not paid journal or this like commercial journals, but the authentic one like IEEE transaction and all, or ACM or these kind of platforms. you have to be ambitious in life. Okay, so the spiritual thing is a different thing, and being ambitious in the profession is not at all a sin. But only thing is you should not have some good fortune for you on the basis of doing bad to others. That is bad. So it is not ethical also. So you have to be ambitious. You have to define you for yourself roles in coming time. With your time management, you should make a target that in 2 years whether you will become associate professor, in 4 years whether you will become a professor or dean and this and that, and or you are going to produce two patents out of which one would be commercialized and all. So setting targets is a part of ambitious. So like that you have to define a role for yourself which would eventually evolve or will grow. You have to be artistic also, not necessarily that you should be well enough to draw or sing or something like that, but the aesthetics has to be good. For example, I have seen people when they design their PowerPoint presentation, they do not bother about the kind of uniformity in the fonts or this thing or many aspects of presentation. When they make documentation and all, there is no flow and all. Then some sort of aggression is always welcome, not in communication but in persuasion of many matters. So you have to aggressively follow the suit and all, and you have to be demanding about it. So for the subordinates who are working under you, you have to be little aggressive and asking a good quality of job, but you have to equally support you also. You have to be always alert about their needs and support which they require from you as a boss or leader or whatever it is there, and therefore we have to be very alert in this aspect. So if you are at middle level, we must know what the people exactly want from us who are sitting on our top, and how to get it extracted from the people who are working under you. Then you will find that yes, you have to be commanding, in terms of, in other words, demanding, but without hurting anyone. So basically, a person is commanding only when he is thoroughly knowledgeable, or he knows the aspects or nuances of the job which has been allotted to him or her. So you will find that if you don't have knowledge, for example, if a student working under you have taken a topic of AI ML and you are guiding their project, and you are zero in AI ML, you have stopped your learning aspect and you don't want to put your head into it, and then students are asking you many difficulties and you are not in commanding position, you then you cannot ask the decided targets also to be achieved from them. So you yourself don't know, and you just keep on telling students that okay, you learn and do something by hook or crook, and by this date you give me the results and all. This is not a good way. So you have to take full command of your position. So you need to be commanding. Commanding aspect comes only when the proper experience or knowledge is there with the person, so he knows what he or she is doing. So then you have to be cooperative. This is an aspect which is related to teamwork also. So cooperation is very much need of the hour. Then you should have a very good communication skills, written as well as spoken. I will show you some examples, the way people put their applications and all. It's very funny. And then you will find that you have to be creative. That's why I said that some artistic hobby you must possess. You have to be caring about your co-workers or your superiors or your support staff and all. You have to be curious, otherwise how the research would get done. So basically, if the curiosity is the mother of invention, or and if you are not curious enough to know, for example, now NEP is in offering National Education Policy of 2020, and already many institutions are taking efforts for implementing it, and that's why the basic academic structures of the scheme and all is to be revived and all. So if you are not curious enough, I don't know many of you whether they have read the document of NEP or not in the higher technical education section and all. It's just 18 page. Otherwise, we waste our time on mobile doing a very fruitless stuff and all, forwarding very useless messages to groups and all. Instead of that, we have to be curious enough about all these aspects. Then you will find that computer, so it comes under a skill, and therefore you need to be very good in one programming language, and the other tools which are needed for office administration and automation like MS Office, and also you should know how to make your own presentation and how to draw notes from it and all. Like mail merge facility, when 500 letters are to be written with common matter but the names of the recipient are different, how to get it done by using mail merge facility of Microsoft Office and all. Many of us, they don't even know also. So I see the or many, they write their thesis through latex, but in Word I could see how people type titles under the diagram and all. And whenever if an enter gets pressed or the diagram is moved, and then the title gets misaligned, and also how to insert fields there and get it done and all. This comes under all computer skills related to mail and other things, and also these skills are very, very important. So as I have mentioned here communication skills take the top. It is at the top. You must be very good in written, spoken. I'm not saying especially English and all, any language where using that you can convey the information which is to be conveyed to the person on the other end. Now, when we say communication, see, these are the examples of live applications and how in a funny way people have written it, and it is almost murder of English. So this was circulated by the HR forum of many IT companies and all. So, so you can see just one example, like a person from HL administrative department has written, as my mother-in-law has expired, I am only one responsible for it. So please grant me 10 days leave. So actually from this statement, what emotion the person has to convey and what is conveyed are exactly the opposite things, and these are not going to work for you. And in many presentations, thesis or documents made by people, it is always done. For example, one very common example is my one or two of my young colleagues at VNIT always say that सर मैं हमने डॉक्यूमेंट भेजा है आप थोड़ा ओवरलुक कर दीजिए. Means they want me to check the document, but overlook, the word which they are using is exactly opposite. If I really overlook it, then actually I won't pay any attention to that document. And naturally, it's not our native language, so you should not have any kind of complex or inferiority complex that your English is not good enough. Okay, if it is there, then take some pains or you take some efforts for improving it. And the first thing is reading a good English newspaper. Does not mean local English newspaper, but the national daily like Indian Express or Hindu, you can see, or Times of India. Then you should inculcate habit of reading these kind of papers. If you are not hard copy wise subscribing it, then you can read their e-copies which are freely available on the net and all. Then see the words. Now there are applications like Grammarly where more danger is there, because that AIML based application, even if you type a mail in Gmail also, that auto corrects everything. But because of that, the person on the other end is under wrong impression, and when he or she interacts with you, then he finds that the way it was written, the person is not speaking the language at the same standard, and then you may lose your credibility because of that. So you should have inherent capabilities of this does not mean that you should use words used by Shashi Tharoor and all. Your English can be very simple, apt, and use by writing small sentences only you can convey, and they should be grammatically correct. So first you should have abundance of reading and then expressing yourself into that. And wherever you get a chance to speak in English, never miss that. That's why never teach in Hindi. Though like AICT is now taking approach to teach engineering in vernacular languages and all, but that aspect is an extra effort for the student. Even they would need finally the formal medium of instruction. If it's in English, they must be able to present themselves. Just like that, teachers also should have capability of good English. So these are few more examples and all, and the way people write these kind of applications. And while conducting many interviews, I have seen these kind of things practically in the life. Then the H aspect, so honest, so that comes to professional loyalty and all, or ethics, things like that. Hardworking is again related to toiling, so you should be hardworking. You should have a good sense of humor, you should value it, and That's why you can enjoy your work and also find out the funniest part or funny part of your work aspect, and also you keep on interacting with students, and then you can share light jokes also while teaching and all. And then finally maintaining a very physical and mental health, a good, especially in pandemic, this thing, most of us we don't even know that we are under depression. There are many signs of it and all, because of lockdown and no interaction with students and all, no eye contact. There are a lot of professional challenges which we are facing, and also health is a very important aspect. So healthy mind in a healthy body, that is what we have heard always. So you should be healthy enough, and therefore you should be very, very careful about maintaining a good health. Now, when we say hardworking, there can be like shortcuts also to achieve the same goal. For example, Swami Iyengar's image is there, and you can see with his years together hard work, and with these props and all, he has achieved this asan position, which is quite difficult enough and all. But there can be a person who can achieve the same kind of position by a shortcut. So this doesn't match. TK, so you will find that if you think that if you use shortcut and achieve the same, so if someone thinks that he has achieved the same what Swamiji has achieved, basically it is very wrong. And therefore, no shortcuts, please. You should be hardworking enough and should know that each achievement needs some time, and it when it comes to shape and all, so you will have to spend that much time and put in that level of effort, then only you will get that thing. So no shortcuts, please. Then you will find that E, if it is there, then nowadays IQ we know, but for E, the most important aspect in teacher's life is now you should have emotional quotient also along with IQ. Rather, a third one has come. The pandemic has made us to realize that, and that is nothing but social quotient also. So actually, EQ, IQ, and SQ, all these three, you will find that all successful people in professional life, they would have a perfect balance of all these three. Now what are these? Actually your IQ will make your brain analytical, so you can solve numericals and do the analysis and get some fruitful results and all, and your language can be good and all. But in EQ you will find that that will give you ability to concentrate or focus in a good manner. Then you won't get bothered about petty things and all. Then you will find that whether you will never be conscious about your image and all, and you won't have any kind of complex. And then you will find that you will always realize that there are several ways by which you can improve your personality. And rather, if you have good emotional quotient, then you would not be happy because of you only instead of others. The moment it happens that you start considering that whatever bad is happening in your life is not because of you, but it is because of others, your life becomes a mess or hell, or you will find that there would be lot many problems. So we think that I am not getting promoted, he has done this bad to me and all like that. So always remember that is only the virtual front face of the situation which we see. Actually you will find that we lack something, and because of that we face this kind of situation. So you should have very good balance of EQ and IQ, and that is very this thing necessary. Now R is the last, so you should be reachable. Your accessibility should be very good. So your higher ups, whenever they want, they should be able to contact you. At the same time, those who are dependent on you, like your students and all, they for them also you should be reachable. Your research has to be very good quality, and you have to be realistic. So whatever ambitions you have, those are only dreams, and actually you are not putting any efforts into that, then how would you achieve that goal? So you should have to be realistic enough about this. So gist is, you will find that with the proper communication skill, and you will find that with very high level of preparation or apt preparation. For example, it is always better to know something about everything instead of everything about something. This is a very good statement which I have come across. So the small information about various aspects is very important for you. So you should keep your eyes and ear open, and always try to grasp the things which are new to you. For having a very good time management, a perfect balance of EQ and IQ, you can see now all results of psychological analysis rather have proved that If you just have IQ 40%, what is most important is EQ. Nowadays all the HR departments also in IT companies, they see towards commitment of work and all, major aspects of EQ instead of IQ. IQ can get improved by practice and all. EQ cannot get improved. It is inherent in the personality, the way the person has been groomed and all. So for your success, EQ is very important. Now the third analysis has come where social quotient is also there. So you will find that some portion of the IQ itself has been taken out and 10% from EQ and has been given importance to an extent of 20% to the social quotient. So you can see IQ has gone to 30% only. And we always think in a reverse manner that scholastic record, good marks and percentage and all, which is all related to IQ, only matters most. But this never happens. Rather, in your class, you will be surprised that the student who has scored maximum marks may get placed last, and rather who is an on an average and above average person and is good in studies but not very scholar, but he is equally competent, having consistency and very good personality and all. So when I say personality, that does not mean marks and the academic scholastic record only. That's why you should groom yourself to have better value of social quotient as well as emotional quotient. That will all bring the aspects of teamwork and compassionate about others and all like that it is there. Then you should have little study about body language, the mannerism, the interpersonal skills and psychology and all that you must understand. So you will find that you should have life learning attitude also, and quality and quantity needs a balance. For example, there can be teachers who would say that, sir, we have 300 plus papers published. Okay, very good thing. But only numbers won't matter if like 90% of these papers are in conferences which are just having commercial value, and secondly, no good review is there. The rejection rate is also poor, and you will find that the journals also are paid and all, it's of no use. So you in your lifetime, if you just achieve one IEEE transaction paper getting published and all, that is also more than sufficient. So you may have just 10 15 papers, but all of them are very good quality and all, it is good. So always numbers won't matter a lot. Like there has to be a balance between quality and quantity. So in this case, then we may think that we have a lot of challenges, and then in that case, do we really have great future? Many teachers would think that look, half of the career is already over, and we don't know exactly now how to improve these things and all, because we are in some kind of comfort zone and cocoon. We don't want to come out of it, and therefore, then we may rather enter into depression, thinking that if so many challenges are there and is the need of the hour, then like do study aspects of NBA also, NAC also, NEP also, do research also, teach also. I don't know like whether I would be in a position to comply with all and all, and therefore then we can be under a big question that do we have a great future? And the answer is yes, of course. Why not? But only thing is, the most important thing is now you start having aspects of practices related to innovative teaching. At the same time, groom yourself as academic leader also. And always remember, the survival of the fittest is the philosophy. So the one who is fit enough and strong enough would survive, rest will go. So tomorrow, if there is economic feasibility to the college, naturally those teachers would be retained till last who are very good in multiple aspects. Then for that, at least you should try something, and in first attempt or try, if you don't get that, keep on doing that. Like for example, how many of you have valid gate score in life at least once, whether you have appeared for gate examination and all, because that is a very good aspect of brushing up your concepts related to your branch and all. But we don't take those efforts, and then we think that now I don't have to do MTech. If a chance comes, then you will always do it from an institute which is private, thinking that, or suppose if a project is to be done, you will choose a teacher who never sits and discusses with you but is very easygoing about awarding marks and all. And therefore we always tend to follow the path of least resistance, and there we limit our capabilities and ruin our career on long term basis. So give your 100% best and forget the rest. Don't think about results, think about efforts. Results would automatically follow. And then you will find that success has to be felt. It cannot be quantified or it can't be measured. So this is what, if you follow, definitely we will have very great this thing future. So then we should be conscious enough to think about, you will find that what kind of era right now is there. So you will find that lot of technological evolvement is there, and you will find that it is quite amalgamation of various kinds of technological things coming into different aspects of our everyday life and all, and that's why it is equally challenging. And secondly, aspects like pandemic and all, we never have faced it, so it is a learning curve basically. So their technology has come to our rescue. So you will find that a constant learning research kind of thing is required. Now, as far as oh, worldwide, if you see the overall scenario, the entire trend is, or in which direction basically the research aspects or technical education aspects are going on. So one field is computing power. So whether it is related to distributed computing, parallel computing, whatever it is there, but huge data and that has to be analyzed and all. So you need good platform, and you must have realized or have read that suddenly there was uh, lot of demand compared to the supply of the electronic chips, the ICs, and the companies were not able to meet the orders and all, and because of that there was a long haul or delay in procurement of ICs and all, and that has impacted so many industries. So many cars, if you now go and book, you will get the delivery after 6 or 8 months. So automobile industry was affected a lot. The testing instrument industry was affected a lot. For triple IT, we had to purchase 500 computers, which in general, in normal case, would have been procured in 2 months. We required 9 months because we were getting computers but no monitors, since there was no regular supply of ICs required for designing or manufacturing monitors. So this has happened. So basically, you will find that the applications are demanding more space and all. So earlier we used to think 1 GB pen drive is great enough. Now even 64 GB or 128 GB is also less. People have hard drives or these things. So you will find that lot of computing power is required. The data is more demanding. Applications are there. 1D games where there, 2D have come, 3D have come, 4D have come. Lot of image processing, and also we would need lot of computing power. Therefore, whether it would be a distributed computing, edge computing, there are many aspects related to it, and therefore this is one compartment. Second compartment is big data analysis. This is a huge this thing everywhere now. You see, whether it is retail, online marketing, digital marketing, whatever it is there, it's all based on data and everything on cloud. Now NEP says that there would be a credit bank. From where this bank would be there, to this bank, all the institutions like NITs, IITs, private colleges and all would be connected. And so many in digital locker, so many credit history and data related to the academic achievements of the students would be there, so that on one platform they can get their credit transferred from one institute to another. So the amount of data you can just see. So Aadhaar card is there, related to that so much data is there that has to be processed. Therefore, from this data and analyzing that data is a great challenge. So we need new tools to comply with all these things. So then there are uh, uh, just one discipline is not sufficient, and learning that the buzzword is disciplinary, and therefore the boundaries are blurred. Means now if you say that a person who is learning civil engineering won't at all come in contact with aspects of electronics engineering anywhere, this is not going to happen. Now their own instruments have been digitized, or a lot of high scale of automation has come into construction and all. So the time has come that now civil engineering student also should have some knowledge of motors and electronic sensors and data acquisition systems and all. Then only they can build smart structures or put lot of value addition to it. Then internet, which is infinite size network without any end and beginning. So now also you can see in your everyday life to what extent internet has already taken the place. So you will find that lot of research would be done on it. Then you will find that there is competition as well as collaboration worldwide. So you can see to uh, outperform Reliance, Vodafone, and uh, Idea. They came together and formed one company. Like that, many consortiums are getting done, and they are trying to compete with each other this is the trend of the market or need of the market. And because of this, you will find that there are equally challenges also in this engineering aspect. So you will find that if the national data related to National Academy of Engineering USA is seen, they have projected, and now you can see here that all these 14 aspects are really really challenging and are related to our everyday life. So whether it is energy, so you see suddenly the demand has come, now you shift to e-vehicles and all, and not the petrol diesel based vehicles and all. So pollution is one aspect, or you will find that so many things are there. Then augmented reality, virtual reality in aspects of education. So you see now this pandemic has enhanced that need, because medical students also were affected by lockdown. They were sitting at home in their first year. So how to learn anatomy and other things, like which usually they do by watching a real-time dissection of bodies, human bodies and all. So there, this augmented reality, virtual reality helps you a lot, and a feel of first degree while learning things can be given because of this. So haptics can be included in that. So still in world there are so many challenges: pollution, carbon rating, giving clean water, and energy consumption, or alternative ways for high energy demand and all. So you will find that medicine, again healthcare is another aspect. So looking at this aspect, why I'm telling you is you can have many things which you can learn or you can divert. If so far like PhD is in devices, now you can decide that now I have started working in AI ML, and I am going for a completely new topic or something like that. So you can develop your interest and start learning them and all. So you will find that even NBA has added these successful attributes in an engineer if he is passing out through your department or program. So there are different this thing aspects of it. So which we call it as program outcomes basically. So you will find that these are the attributes defined as program outcome for engineers. So this a student must possess basically. Now that student will possess it only when the teachers training them or teaching them are possessing them, and not just from knowledge point of view but application of knowledge point of view. They themselves know how to apply this knowledge, or how if they have certain skill or quality as far as their personality is concerned, then how it will get transferred to their students and all, that is equally important. Now sorry, I have written there 2020 actually, because with that pronounced this thing attributes, this slide was made. Actually this has already come in picture since this is 2022. Now we are facing another challenge, like the generation or the crowd to which we are teaching and all, they are belonging to millennial generation now. So in class, if you are teaching something and if there is something some goof up, or you are not putting authentic data, immediately they will Google out the thing and will tell you the corrections and all. So almost you know what danger has come. It is like teacher is becoming almost redundant. There are online aspects like NPTEL, Coursera and all. So when we made classes online, we could see that student abandoned the lecture. They were not attending it also, and have started pursuing the online degrees parallelly, which are given by IITs and all in various aspects, or doing shorter courses and all. So the way these people they learn and they are exposed to information and facilities and all is quite different. And when we have to deal with them, we have to be 10 step ahead of them. So many of you who have not attained any certificate from NPTEL or Swayam and all, they should first go for it. They themselves should keep on learning new courses from Coursera and all. So they will be updated, and among student they would be very popular because they will be knowing the nuances of the latest trends of the technological evolution and all. And therefore you will find that the computing aspect or internet support, or the degree to which we are tech savvy and all, or we are open for new technologies and readily accept it and all. For example, if some senior teacher is there and during pandemic, suppose he or she takes objection that beyond chalk and talk he can't go for any other method, or he cannot adapt for it, and is absolutely incapable of conducting classes in online mode, then such person would be completely out of the team. or he or she will be isolated and all. Such kind of situation should not arise for us. So basically we should cross the boundaries. We should come out of our comfort zone and activate or reactivate rather our learning curve, and should face these challenges and try to learn things. Then you will find that that's why now the time has come where you will have to change your teaching approach now. So you focus more on group work. Then you will find that and the way the knowledge is displayed, you bring some newness to that particular aspect. And then you will find that the cross pollinations also, as the era is of interdisciplinary kind of era. Therefore it may happen that you may have to cross boundary of your own department, collaborate with the person from other department, and then facilitate say synergies and all, and startups etc. Encourage students for going for this thing, some innovative ideas and all. Then you can share amongst yourself your learning resources and all, and can get value addition to it. So you will find that we exactly have very opposite nature. When we have developed some good notes and all, we will just want them to keep to ourselves, and we don't want to get it shared with others and all. Which exactly then you will never come to know a good feedback about your own work and all unless you expose it to people basically. Then you will find that during undergraduate study itself, the emphasis should be on their research attributes and all. So enhance their curiosity and analytical capabilities. Then you will find that you should have very good interaction with your student, and you should have very high element of hands-on as far as the content delivery in lab is concerned. So you will find that what you can do is there can be various kinds of strategies or tools which you can use. So where you can talk first informally to the students and break the barrier, or you will find that you expect students to participate, make it interactive, or you will find that you can change the arrangement of the classrooms for certain sessions and all. So instead of that, you make clusters and have very good group games and things like that, whether student would always wait for your class and all. Then you can have small group discussions with interactive way, where students are groomed up to be a good listeners and all. Then you will find that you should also give time to students and not rushing them, or rewarding students for participating by praising them, or paraphrasing them the thing which they are saying or expressing and all. Then you will find that reducing the anonymity by introducing yourself and asking the students for their names and all, and then having good element of interaction, and usually making a good analysis of strengths and weaknesses as a personality aspect of every student is considered, so that you can develop your own team. You can know that for this thing this particular student would be very useful and all. And then developing networking also, a very good networking can get developed, so you can get a good team. Then you will find that making students to be interactive, make them to discuss, and you will find that convincing them with the relevance of the knowledge resources like library and all. And secondly, allowing students always to ask questions at the end of the class. This is very much necessary, so giving opportunity for interaction and all. Then you will find that these are additional few class techniques like jigsaw puzzles, Modius point, think in pair, share, think pair, share, quiz bowl. So a bowl will be there in which cheats would be there, and according to that you can have group discussion, presentation, or a quiz. Then use of multimedia for delivery, props you can use. So there is a very good lecture series of a MIT professor for electromagnetic field. You can see that right from a rod to doll, everything he is using in his classroom itself to show how electrostatics, magnetostatics things work and all, and their equations, etc., which he is making very interesting. So you can see the level of efforts which these people are taking. Then the candy questions, so for rewarding students and all, you can have a bowl of candy and can give them mind breaks or engaging different tastes of different kinds, and you will find that overview drill and all for overall assessment. So you will find that we are in era of outcome based education, and that's why all these techniques would finally result into, that's why we use Bloom's taxonomy and all, but finally they would resulting into what, attaining course outcomes which get mapped to program outcome, and then PSOs and all, and then you will see whether they are really effective or not. So all this computation and calculation should not just only be on paper, but it should become part of the culture as far as institute is concerned. So this is one example. I am sorry for the poor quality of the figure, but if you see this question paper and if the COs are defined for it, you can really could see whether those questions are really getting mapped with this. I will give you example. For example, in a microprocessor paper, the course outcome can be student will be able to design microprocessor based circuit. Now this is the course outcome, and question is draw a neat diagram of internal architecture of 8085 processor and explain it, which is very theoretical. It is a mug-up question. No challenge at all. Even if students have not understood the concept, still by learning by heart, he or she can give the answer, and the real capabilities of student won't be judged. So basically, you see that the question which you have asked is really getting mapped with the course outcome which we have listed. That is outcome based education. And then reshaping the facilities like labs and other things and all with feedback, and dynamically engaging them between theory and hands-on things and all. There can be teaching laboratories also which you can develop, and which would promote the faculty interaction, or you will find that clear line of sight for teachers and students would be provided. Then group work tasks can be given, interaction would get encouraged and all, and so many things are there. So you will find that uh, the experiment preparation, the data authenticity, all would get value added, and therefore your laboratories must be designed in that particular fashion. So see in foreign universities how they design the labs and all, which kind of interaction or space is there. We go for conventional this thing, and this kind of experimentation or high level of experimentation is really required. So the way the classroom space have been designed, allocated, or research labs for undergraduate level have been arranged and all, you will find that these facilities and their quality would make a lot of impact as far as innovative teaching facilities are there. So it may be the research laboratories or faculty offices and all, and you will find that almost all organizations are very much ready to spend on these things. Now, in the leadership aspect, I would cover that many times we complain that our management is not ready to give money and all, but it's not like that. We are not ready with it. For example, if I give you a task that just in 10 minutes you tell me what will you do with 1 crore rupees if that much grant is available to you, which lab you will design and what kind of instruments you will have, and what would be the revenue outcome of it, and how it would do value addition to the teaching and all. Beyond the conventional preliminary trainers and all, we don't go that, and we won't be really in a position to spend 1 crore rupees in a stipulated period of time, because we ourselves don't have exposure what kind of range and value level of instruments are available, equipment are available, what way in-depth experimentation can go on, which would do lot of value addition to the facilities and all. So this is our limitation basically. So if in university it is written this experiment is to be performed beyond CRO and multimeters and few what testing equipment, we don't go, and we don't see as such that whether the same equipment would be useful for doing consultancy and testing etc or not. That we don't think. We don't even know the technical specs or ranges and all. So we are not in a position to convince our management. So basically, if you tomorrow make them to spend 1 crore one time, and for the coming 10 years with that instrument, if you are very much capable of generating revenue of 10 to 20 lakhs a year because of the versatility of that equipment and all, they would be very glad. They won't just spend 1 crore, they would spend 2 crores, and rather then in that case you are in a position to ask management to share the revenue generated by utilization of that. But we don't want to exert that much or push efforts to that particular level, and that's why this happens. So we should make students basically very compliant with the post university life. That is our responsibility as far as ideal role of a teacher is concerned. Now with the provided time, actually this is 4:30 now, your talk should have ended here, but since we have started 15 minutes late, is it okay if I take 10-15 minutes more? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so unfortunately, like now I have less time to explain you the aspect of the leadership, but how we can actually follow it and get our leadership quality groomed or developed and all that I would say. So in that case, the gist again, I will repeat the same thing was there. What is our target? What we need to do it and all. So I won't repeat it here. And then the question is, do we have a great feature? Yes, we have. We have to groom ourselves as a good academic leader. Now, how to achieve this grooming? Basically, who will do it for us? That's why these FTPs are there. So whatever discussion is going on, if you are just doing it for the sake of some certificate and then writing in your biodata that you have attended 1 week FDP and now 2 points should be given, or you are eligible for some university promotion and all, then that is very bad. Actually, so many people are coming, they are putting their thoughts and all. How many of you would be seriously grasping it and giving attention to it? So somewhere you will get a click, or you will get a kick rather for starting some improvement and all. So basically you will find that through such academic leadership development program you can get benefited. So these are the obvious reasons our skill will get enhanced, we would get shifted from middle level to higher level or lower level to middle level, and like that it is there. So the institutional supports or involvement and whatever goals are there, those are to be achieved basically. Then for that the leadership has to evolve or get developed, and these can be done with the help of these programs. Then you will find that the leadership, when it is to be groomed, then what it includes. So basically there are various levels. First is skills for teaching, research and public services, which comes under administration, which I have talked about already in part 1. Then you will find that skills for career effectiveness, and what is at the core required is leadership skills. Now here the person must have vision. If he or she does not have a vision for his or her own career, then leadership qualities cannot get developed. So in long term, what are our plans, how we are going to achieve them and all, like that it is there. So why it is important? So obvious reasons are the leadership development program being important, or this. So you will find that who get benefit? So all get benefit. It's not like that the leadership is required at every level, and therefore the lower level people would get shifted to middle level, middle level will go to higher level, like that it is there. So you will find that in institution working there can be HODs, coordinators, wardens, deans, etc., who want to strengthen their interpersonal skills and all. So such programs are always beneficial. And you will find that such program then help us to create a culture. Once culture is created, what will happen? The peers or the seniors will leave a mark which juniors have to follow, and no one can be out of that system. So those who don't comply, they will be thrown out. So basically formation of a good culture is very, very important. So you will find that uh, you will find that this was an example that Fortune 500 companies, when a survey was made, almost to an extent of 150 companies felt that uh, uh, this thing that at executive levels in coming 5 years, if they want replacement, they won't be in a position to get people. So this is the case. That means we don't have evolution of leaders and people ready in line, and that is what it has shown. Then you will find that a research was once done for the core competencies also, and you will find that for 30 core institutional competencies, most organizations use between 9 and 11 competencies in training, development, etc. So these are the 9 tricks, we can say, where the development programs are always conducted. So action orientation or improving communication or innovation and creativity and all, in which, see, one aspect is leadership. That's why it is written in red color. So leadership is very, very very much required. Now uh, uh, what is the way why we should do it and how we should do it as far as development is concerned. So this objective is mainly focused on your own definition of leadership, then the particular personal leadership style, which style you want to follow effectively, recognize effectiveness of the leadership traits in others and all, and then to comply with it or rather complement it, and then understand the process involved in developing leadership in organizational setup. Now, what is a leader basically? So you will find that many definitions can be given, but one who leads or guides or is in charge of some command of others, and one who heads a political party, organization, department, institution, whatever it is there. And then you will find that one has influence of power, especially of a political nature. Now you will find that there are other heritage definitions also of leadership. So the position or officer basically is a leader or capacity or ability to lead or group of leaders or guidance and direction. Now many definitions you can give, you can refer literature and all, and we can come across, but you will find that if these traits are there in general, you will find that then that person is having very much high potential of being a good leader. So knowledgeable, confident, respectable, role model for others, observant enough, very good observation, capable of making mistakes and correcting them. This is very important. So if you don't learn from your own mistake and you are committing it multiple times, then you are full of degree one. So one who wants to grow, progress, he or she should learn from their mistake. Committing mistake is not at all a sin. So never go for perfection. Perfection would make your life miserable. Pursuing perfection, rather you always remember that you can commit mistake, but then from that you should learn what wrong you have done, and next time you should not repeat it. Then good problem solver, compassionate for others, influencing people, works well with others. So teamwork aspect, goal oriented, good communicator, motivator, accountable, and listener mainly. Otherwise what happens, just it is a broadcast or monologue instead of dialogue, so only keep on saying what he or she knows. Then there are various leadership skills which are required basically, and you will find that these skills mainly come under three categories what a leader should have. First is technical skill. This is always bound to happen. That's why BE plus MBA, this particular combination is always ever growingly demanded. Reason behind it is, you see now what will happen, a person would become a faculty, then senior faculty, then like kind of professor, and then head of the department. Now as you are head of the department, what happens is your administrative role increases, or if you are a dean, then instead of doing it yourself, getting it done is most important. And while that, at that point of time, if it happens that suppose you have asked a junior teacher to make a budget for some lab requirements and all, and he or she does something and brings the paper to you, then unless you are technically qualified and knowledgeable enough, how will you know that why whether really this range of CROs or high-end equipments are required or not, and whether it has potential for a good learning process or not. If you are technically poor, then you will never understand why these many maneuvers and things like that are required. Then conceptual skills, so where you will find that ability to analyze situations and generate ideas, and also how to resolve problems. So your concepts are very clear that okay, by doing this, this can be solved. And then human relation skills, here like entire team, if you are leading, you will know the strengths and weaknesses of each and everyone who is your team member. How will you make good combination of it, and how will you make them to complement with their strengths and weaknesses each other, and you get a good team. So exactly you know what work is to be allotted to which person and who can get it done in a better way and all. And secondly, without hurting anybody or without arising of conflicts and all, that is the case. So there is a difference between leading and managing. Like leaders, they need to be innovate, eye the horizon, originating, do the right thing, focus on being effective and all. Rather managers, you will find that they are more administer, they administer the thing. They always see the bottom line, what is the minimum requirement. Most of the time they won't innovate or originate, but they will imitate what, oh okay, that college has done this, we will also do this. This is managing. So that means no innovation. For example, if you want to become autonomous, what we do is, if the syllabus is to be developed, we first go see the IIT, see the NIT, and simply copy paste it and put it without putting any thought process into it. This is imitation. Okay, why don't you think that IITs even might have committed the mistake? And while thinking, your logic should not be of such poor quality that no, the kind of students we get are very poor. If these high quality topics are kept in this subject, then they won't be able to understand, and that's why we will dilute the content. This is very wrong. Rather, you are not making them proficient enough to understand that. So rather, change the attitude and skills of the student and not the content. So don't set a paper very easy so that more number of students should pass. This is wrong. Rather, make students to pass in large number even if the difficult paper is there. So innovation or origination is required, otherwise you are just a good manager. So what we do, oh, okay, they have become autonomous 5 years back, what they are doing, same we will do. That means there is no thought process to it. Then do things right, just correct it. That is the care, that is the thing. And focus on being efficient instead of effective. That is the efficient resource utilization. And there are many aspects then based on this leading versus managing. And also, leadership does not mean managing the thing. Leadership means you should be innovative or original itself. Then you will find that various skills, when a leadership is imbibed, then there are mainly three types of leadership style. Some leaders are authoritarian. So autocratic also you can say, means jo keh diya bas wo suno, that's all. But in that case, you should not be bossing enough. Like, they know, they have vision, they know what is right and wrong. That's why they show their authority. So you will find that there can be autocratic kind of. So sometimes some head of the department can be like this. They would say, look, I know everything, you don't this thing. Usually, any boss never like a superior subordinate. They, if they start having a kind of sense of insecurity, this is very bad. That means they lack the leadership quality. So you should be open enough. Rather, if your subordinate is smarter than you, then you should know how to use them and for your own betterment also. Then some leaders can be participative. This is second column or second kind of this thing. So they are very democratic. For example, they may do finally what they want, but they will give chance people to put their opinion and all, like that it is there. And some are delegative. So free rein is there. You will find that, like, some work comes, they will say, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. They know which work is to be allotted very well to whom, and knowing their strengths and weaknesses. So kind of indirectly participative, but they know how to delegate and get things done and all. Rather, you will find that I'm not saying that any of this style is rather good or bad, and it all depends on circumstances or the way the person has been groomed and all. So what he or she has learned from his superiors and all. Always remember, whenever a good superior is there, you should always first find the negative points of your boss and all, and at least make yourself aware that this I won't do. Whether I do the good things or not, I don't know, but this I should not do. So that is the case. Now, as I have said, the authoritarian style, if it is there, then in that case, autocratic one. So you will find that the knowledge and skill, the person at top, most of it would be concentrated there. And rather, what you can do is, it has been suggested that don't follow only one, but use as per the situation these styles. So all three you can mix and match. Take good points from one style and mix it one. So you should be autocratic sometimes, you should be participative also, you should be delegative kind also whenever it comes. So should normally be used on rare occasions. So use minimum the autocratic style. When the particular leader tells his or her employee that what is to be done and how it is to be done, how much is to be done, without getting the advice or any kind of opinion from others. मुझे सब पता है, मैं जैसा बताता हूँ वैसा करो. Okay, now this is only suitable for some emergency cause and all, or at in some appropriate conditions also. So don't get confused this with bossing around. Sometimes even autocratic way is also needed, and you should not boss around. Like when boss this thing is said, that's why these are the pictures which are very result oriented and are telling you the difference between a boss and the leader. If you see, just see the diagram, you will know. So boss will only tell what to do, but leader will participate and will actually show the way of doing it, which is very very good quality of a leader. So you decide which particular category you belong. So boss will only do I, मैंने ऐसा किया, whereas a leader would always say we, हमने किया, whatever it is there. So you read the book written by Dr. APJ Kalam, the qualities like his boss Dhawan were having and all, Satish Dhawan. So how always the failures he used to take and success when was there, he used to send the juniors to take the entire credit of it and used to take the back seat and all. These are all good qualities of leader. बट हम इनसिक्योरिटी में चले जाते हैं, हमको लगता है कि हम ये दिखाएंगे नहीं तो फिर हमको प्रमोशन नहीं मिलेगा और ये मेरा प्रमोशन ले जाएगा. बट ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, ऐसा होता नहीं है. द द पीपल एट अपर लेवल ऑल्सो दे वेरी वेल नो कि ये लेटर किसने लिखा है, किसकी कैपेबिलिटी, हु इज आफ्टर इट एंड ऑल, डूइंग इट एंड ऑल, एट करेक्ट टाइम्स हाउ टू यूज इट एंड ऑल. So basically you develop your leadership qualities and not the bossism perspective. Then participative, make others to participate, but here always remember, making a final decision authority should lie with you only, but at least it will give satisfaction to your co-workers that okay, we were involved, we were. Sometimes it happens that you might have done a very good work, chalk out everything, you have a vision and all, but one important aspect might have you might have skipped it, or it is you are out of mind, like you have skipped it, and वन पर्टिकुलर सबॉर्डिनेट में ब्रिंग इट टू योर नोटिस कि सर अपने यहाँ तो स्टूडेंट का ऐसा ऐसा होता है, जो बैकलॉग वाले उनका क्या करेंगे, देन यू कुड रियलाइज ओ दिस मैटर यू हैव नॉट थॉट अपॉन. So if it is a participative style, many times your learning curve is very good. You also learn many things from your subordinates, good things like that. It is there, bad things to be avoided and all. And therefore, you will find that when some part of information is only available with you and lot of time is available, there is no urgency and all, you should use this participative style very often. Then you will find that delegative style. Now free ring is there, then you will find that you are confident enough that you have a team in which every member has all the required skills, and also you know you have to just delegate the thing, so you know kisko kya kaam dena hai, whatever task is there. Suppose PM is coming for some event at your college, you know whom to ask to get the things arranged as far as dais and pendol and things like that are concerned, whom to ask to write a speech for our institute director and all, and how get things done and all. So you know the strengths and weaknesses of each and every member, but in that case you should be confident enough and you know that your subordinates are already groomed for it. So what is the this thing success formula? So
दिला होता मला हे विचारायचं होतं
please
मॅडम,
switch off your mic. Somebody's mic is on and it is creating disturbance. I don't know whose
ऑनलाईन
mic it is.
पेमेंट आहे का ऑफलाईन पेमेंट आहे, म्हणजे कॅश मोड मध्ये पेमेंट आहे,
Hello?
कॅश मध्ये आहे का?
Hello?
हा हा
Vaishali madam,
Please,
put your mic
please.
off, please.
नाही आता येणार आहे.
Okay, so these leadership styles, like a good leader will blend in perfect proportion and balance these three styles: autocratic, delegative based, or you will find that the participative one, and will go ahead with whatever vision or conviction he or she has. So you will find that then how to develop it, you will find that. Now as far as teaching institution is concerned, so academic leadership, this will be a general route map for each one of us. So starting from assistant professor, we would become associate professor. Becoming professor, we will become a board of studies member or senate or a academic council member. Then see, your role is growing now. The things are like what, more of a policy making would come into picture. Then you may be chairman, board of studies or HOD, and then you can be associate dean, warden, coordinator, then dean, then deputy director, director, vice chancellor, visitor, CEO, whatever, the way you want to get yourself groomed up. Now when you are stepping ahead and this thing going ahead and all, I will tell you, the good leadership is whichever role you have achieved finally. The day, for example, the day you have got yourself promoted to become associate professor from assistant professor, you should start thinking that now how would I find my replacement So who would replace me as associate professor, and how I would now go to the next step of professor? The moment you do that, if you remain satisfied, okay, this I wanted, I got it, just that's all, and now you are not ambitious enough, your learning curve has stopped. So I'm not saying that you should not be happy. You should be happy for what you get, and you should not keep on sulking to get things more and more, but rather you should increase your learning attitude, and you should develop your capabilities or leadership capabilities. So always you will find that these common traits are required. So always welcome exposure. Whenever any task is given to you, you say yes. Every learning curve is very important. You should be creative. Don't mimic what others have done. Have a perfect balance of EQ and IQ, as I have said, and always master your technical competency. For example, if you are a HOD, you cannot ask other teacher to teach well unless you yourself are a very good teacher and have good feedback and all. Not by populistic measure, by awarding marks free of effort to the students, and these kind of cheap means are used by political leaders only, announcing rice at 2 rupees kg and all, and then winning the elections and all. See, here we are not here for winning elections or this. If you want real feedback, always remember, you may be popular at that time, but student outside for their post campus life value such a teacher zero. So you should not be opportunistic in such approaches. Then you will find that you should be magnanimous, believe in healthy competition, encourage good culture of healthy competition. So you will find that if you encourage, if you exchange your knowledge base and all, you will get groomed yourself with a very good leader, and have good time management. Ambitious, have a vision. You should have vision for doing everything. So for example, in that case, and ambitious is this statement is very important. Earliest find your own substitute to climb the next step of ladder. This is the real essence of effective leadership. So if you have become a dean, you develop or groom people to become dean, and you become director now. Like that it is there. So when you will move ahead, you will give a chance to others to essay that role, and you will give chance to groom others and all. That way you will be a very good leader. But for that you should have vision, and vision as a team also. For example, if you groom people for 4 5 technical skills, you can convince them that देखो इसमें हम consultancy दे सकते हैं, बहुत सारा रेवेन्यू आएगा, ये काम अगर हम करते हैं तो कॉलेज के मैनेजमेंट के साथ हम बात कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको विजन ही नहीं है इस स्किल का, आप 10 से 5 क्लास लेंगे, जितना काम बताया उतना करेंगे, तो फिर कैसे अचीव होगा? You will never get developed into a good leader basically. So there are many opportunities. Then you will find that you should be realistic, honest, evaluating outcomes and all, and you should always delegate responsibilities and disseminate important information with your subordinates or with others. So in this case, many times I have seen such funny situation that some notice comes in which it is said that okay, the proposals for some research grant are invited. Then many heads, they don't circulate that notice and they put their own proposal and do it. If you are doing this, you are a very bad leader. Okay, so because you are always in kind of some kind of insecurity for others and all, you should dare enough to circulate that and have a healthy competition. If more than one people are submitting the proposal, have an assessment, honest assessment, and then decide whose proposal will go ahead and also give a chance. So you will find that in this case, if you are following these leadership rules universally, you will find that you will be a very successful leader or good leader as far as academics is concerned. And these are the few resources, like you can take a photograph or screenshot of this. I will request you to go to these PPTs or internet resources and good books and all. So in this resource, in this scenario now, what is happening is NAC is there, NBA is there, NEP is there. So if others have not taken initiative, you take those initiatives. You see in which aspect you can provide technical consultancy, can earn revenue, make people participating in that. For example, if you are very good in technical capabilities and have developed a product, but you don't know how to bring funds from the market, or how to convince people to put money into it. Another colleague of yours may not be technical good enough, but has a very pleasing personality, good at marketing and all. You can make full use of him or her and can request that if you take this lead, I will handle the technical thing, you handle this, you make a team, and you can go ahead and can bring lot of consultancy, and you can increase your economic strength also, like that it is there, and in turn can bring revenue to institute also. So you will find that the management layer also would value such teachers a lot. Now there can be many things. You are good at teaching, so why don't you start the skill enhancement consortium and all. So nowadays are online. So students sitting at Meerut can learn things from you. Not necessarily he should be in your town. And also if you are very good at Python or something like that, and a full stack development or whatever it is there, and if you can make people to get IT jobs and all, but you yourself should possess those skills first, that is required. So always remember that exploiting the brand of the institute, how extra income you can add to your kitty and all. For that, you should have very good capabilities. While doing so, automatically your leadership qualities will get developed. And then pursuing research projects. So how many of you don't know various agencies which fund the research project apart from the AICT one only, but DST, METI, SERB, or these funding agencies are there. So how can you take, or how to guide a JRF to get the outcome through the 3 years research project and all. While doing such thing, you will find that the leadership qualities get developed. If you are like not ready to give any exposure to yourself and sit in your comfort zone and cocoon and all, and everything you are just finding it for the sake of doing it and point of convenience, that then you will never grow as a good teacher or good leader. So this is what I in all wanted to project. Basically, these are the two important aspects, and the coming era is very challenging. Foreign universities in coming 6 and 8 months would establish their campus. There would be a whole lot of a whole electron theory. So they may pull the good faculties from IIT, NIT system. IIT, NIT would pull from other universities and all. This will go on. So are you ready for it? You will find that the challenges or the kind of, for example, if you are guiding a PhD student, it may not be the rule of your university, but you should insist that, look, unless you publish a SCI paper, I won't allow you to submit the thesis. But just by asking it and not helping that student to get that paper is a very bad thing. So you should sit with him or her, do the technical discussions, interactions and all. Rather, we find that a PhD student meets his guide only on the day of seminar and at the time of submission, that's all. We never actually see the fruitful discussion going on amongst faculty, and also these aspects are there. So tenure track positions would come where say targets would set. Earlier PhD was optional, now it may become compulsory. So you will find that the day it has become compulsory, high number of PhD candidates are there, but quality matters a lot. You will be surprised that at IIIT, while conducting interviews for 2 posts, we get 200 plus applications, out of which 189 were all IIT PhDs were there. But many of them were not even able to draw the symbol of diode. This is the reality. They might be very good at the particular topic of their research and all, but teaching is bread and butter. There you have to teach all the second year, third year students. So what about your research only? You can't talk. You should know the fundamental subjects also. So you should compare your lecture with the MIT professor, and you should see what improvement we can do and all. These kinds of aspects are there. So your role overall has to be improved, and you should get yourself groomed into a very good leader. This is what I can say. So I will stop here. Sorry for jumping the time, but these were the content, and would glad to answer if any questions are there. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Participants, any query, please? So participants are requested to, if possible, kindly share your PPT so that our participants will get benefited, uh, because you gain very much information uh, in your session.
Yeah, like
It will be very helpful for our
yeah,
participants.
there are certain things which are related to the non-disclosure, this thing and all about patent and all that I will remove and will give you a PDF which you can circulate. Not an issue.
Thank you so much, sir, for this very nice and very informative session, for inspiring and motivating us, for using this innovative techniques for the teaching. So thank you so much, sir, for you have shared a, a lot of informations. So thank you so much, sir, for this very nice and excellent session.
Yeah, somebody is asking for my contact detail, which